What is up, Facebook? So I was playing some Grand Theft Auto 5, and I thought, why not record a video for YouTube? And I'll wait till people get in the chat here. Hold on a second. What is up, peeps? I was playing some Grand Theft Auto 5 and thought I'd record a video for YouTube, and I didn't start the video off right. I mean, you gotta have that camera exactly horizontal, otherwise it records the video sideways, even if it's off kilter just by a hair. So I basically just wasted an entire long-ass hour recording a video that I couldn't even post. So I was kind of like, fuck it. I mean, I had fun playing Grand Theft Auto 5, but that's beside the point. You know, I guess as long as I had fun playing the video game, then that's all that counts. But still, it's like, god damn it. Went to go do another deathmatch video of Clock Tower of Terror, and lo and behold, I had some player that was like level 438 going against me. I'm like, okay. The score ended up being like 8-18, which is pretty impressive considering that I'm only like a level 42. I'm just saying, the fact that I scored 8 points on someone who's several levels ahead of me is pretty damn impressive. Now, I didn't give a shit if there were more experienced players or not. I'm actually honored when, you know, more experienced players are playing my death matches, you know, because they've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 for so long that they've literally gone up to level 438. I mean, that takes a lot of game playing. And it's like, how the fuck do you do that? I mean, you gotta spend hours doing missions and robbing convenience stores and all kinds of shit. It's nuts, man. Like, I like playing it, but not to the point where, you know what I'm saying, it would take me a hot minute to get there. And I ended up making my character on Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. Creepy as fuck looking, yes. I had that doctor's mask that they would wear during the bubonic plague on top of the bat face paint, and it makes my character look kind of sinister looking. My character also has the long black surfer hair. Yeah. And every time I've had an experienced player play Clock Tower of Terror, it seems to get a lot of positive feedback. So I'm hoping that Rockstar North will verify it as an official GTA 5 deathmatch. That'd be sick. Thing of it is, if you play it enough and it gets enough positive feedback, eventually Rockstar North will notice. They'll be like, the official badass deathmatch of Gothic King Cobra, you know. The first one I created was called Shotgun Car Fun. The forced weapon was a sawed-off pump shotgun, and it's the only weapon you get on that deathmatch. And that was just to create it and test it out. The second deathmatch I created, which was Clock Tower of Terror, and in the video I explained, like I explained on Facebook Live, having to rename it and everything, because Disney already has a ride called Tower of Terror, so if it were to be verified as an official deathmatch, it would have to have the name change, for one. And two, the description box wasn't quite accurate, because the Gatling gun is the grandfather of the minigun, basically. So not entirely accurate on the description. So instead of saying Gatling guns surround the clock tower, I said miniguns surround it instead. And complete and total strangers that I've never met before. And even though I got my ass kicked on my own death match, I didn't care. I wanted to see what their reaction would be. And the player, who was like a level 438, gave it a thumbs up, which meant the death match got a like. So when you got more experienced players checking out your death match and going, yo, that was kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? That's most definitely what's up. I get to the point where I'm like, all right, let's put the car back in the garage. It's beat up, blah, blah, blah. I go to stop the video. My battery is about to be drained on my phone. And lo and behold, Facebook, lo and fucking behold, the video recorded sideways. I was like, I could have posted the video, but I decided not to, just because I don't like it when my videos record sideways. Because then people in the comment section are like, oh, geez, you don't know how to film a video. Now, I noticed that if I set the camera flat down on the desk and prop it up against something and then hit the record button, the video automatically starts like it's supposed to. I didn't think to do that when I was, but that's all right. I can try for that video again here in a bit and just do the death match. I should have enough money stored up on my character that I can do a death match now. So if I go to re-record that deathmatch footage on GTA 5 Online, this time I'll make sure the phone is horizontal like it's supposed to. I mean, the title of it seems a bit more fitting. Instead of just calling it Tower of Terror, when it surrounds this clock tower you can climb up next to on GTA 5 Online, or in GTA 5 in general. I mean, it, you know what I'm saying? Because there's several towers you can find in that game, so it could, you know what I'm saying? In fact, I want to Google this real quick. I wonder if it can be found on Google. Clock Tower of Terror GTA 5 Online Deathmatch.
Check out these pictures.
Well, thank you, Google. Yep. Let's see. No, there's nothing on it. Shit. That's quite alright though, Facebook. I'll just remake the video later. Got some springtime cleanup going on. Yeah. Well, thankfully that cut on my middle finger is not very deep. I got bit by some steel wool. I was washing dishes and I was cleaning off the spatula with some steel wool. And a piece of that steel wool came undone and got caught on the spatula. And in the process of yanking it off the spatula, I cut myself. Didn't get blood anywhere. Because at first I'm like, but it doesn't hurt to bend my finger for the most part, which is good. But I'm pretty much avoiding guitar playing until that cut heals up. But I just got my nails trimmed. I trimmed them, so maybe I could pull some guitar playing on. Because that's technically not on my fingertip. And I'm relying more on my fingertip to do like the playing and stuff. And if I, oh yeah, pressing down on it, it's like, just pressing it on my fingertip feels weird. I mean, I have all the fucking things. But at least I got the steel wire coming from the steel wool off the brush. I mean, off the, did I say brush? I meant spatula. So for future reference, avoid washing things like that. Especially if the spatula's got a chunk taken out of it, Facebook. If it's a metal spatula and it's got a chunk taken out of it, and you're using steel wool to wash it, that chunk taken out of it could literally make your steel wool come undone. And then next thing you know, you're washing it like, wait a minute, and then it's all tearing to pieces and like, what the shit? So if you have silverware that's broken or anything like that, and you're washing it with steel wool, and the steel wool gets caught on your shit, then use pliers to extract the steel wool off that chunk of spatula where it got caught. If you try pulling it off with your hands, you're gonna end up cutting yourself. I cannot stress this enough, Facebook. When you have steel wool is excellent for cleaning dishes. However, the downside is when it comes undone, you gotta throw it away when that brush comes undone. Otherwise, it becomes a safety risk. Whoa. And the cool thing about playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online is that after I charge my phone back up, unplug the internet from my computer, plug it back into my PS3, fire it back up, and make the video over again to where, you know, it records horizontally. Then I can post it. And if I title the video Clock Tower of Terror GTA 5 Online Deathmatch, it makes it easier to find. I mean, that game's kind of fun to play, but it's meant for adults. When I see kids playing that game, it's just like, what the shit, man? And then parents wonder, why is my kid cussing? Well, you're letting them play adult video games, what the fuck do you expect? That's Facebook, that's literally like, oh, I stick this butter knife in the electrical socket and it electrocutes me. Gee, I wonder why it hurts. And fucking A, it feels like there's no common sense anymore. Well, you could get a car without your driver's license, but technically if you want to drive it, you need your driver's license. I don't think the driving part would be difficult. But the physical driving part of it wouldn't be difficult for me, Facebook. But the only thing I would have trouble with is taking the exam on the computer. Because I've driven cars before, and I'm actually not that bad at it. There's a pretty kick-ass car I want to get, but the car itself costs $1,800, and it needs a little bit of work. All the noise in the background is just some people mowing the lawn, doing some gardening. Live on Facebook. See, I'm out of the cigarettes at the moment, so if I find myself craving nicotine, I got this big ass bag of black Cavendish pipe tobacco. I tend to find pipe smoking is a bit cheaper than smoking cigarettes. Although smoking a cigarette is a lot more convenient than dealing with a pipe. I love smoking a tobacco pipe, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit cumbersome to maintain. If you pack your bowl too tight full of tobacco, you gotta loosen it up. If your pipe clogs, you gotta unclog it. I mean, there's a ritual behind it. It's more than just pulling one out of the pack and lining up. Not only that, but with pipe smoking, there were so many different flavors of pipe tobacco, it's unreal. There's like 3 to 4 times more variety of pipe tobacco when you're comparing pipe tobacco to cigarettes. They got some interesting flavors of cigarettes out there, yeah, but it doesn't quite compare to the vast world of pipe tobacco. And you could literally spend a lifetime trying each one, experiencing the exquisite flavors, the pleasant aromas. You know. Of course, if you smoke a pipe and you got long hair like I do, people assume you're smoking something else. And it's like, get off your high horse, man. It's just tobacco. I don't trust pharmaceuticals. Nicotine releases dopamine, and when you have Asperger's, your brain doesn't produce dopamine naturally. So quite often, people who have autism will smoke tobacco or drink alcohol or caffeine because, or in some cases, if they can, smoke weed because these things make your brain function at a much more normal rate, so you're allowed to live your life a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? That's quite often why you see people with ADHD who will drink caffeine, because people who have ADHD, caffeine does the reverse of what it does for normal people. People who don't have ADHD, it'll speed them up a little bit, give them a little bit of an energy boost. I've noticed that people with ADHD, it's quite similar. They'll drink caffeine to stimulate their brain and help it, function at a more normal cognitive rate. And people can sit here and say, well, you shouldn't drink soda, it's bad for you. True, but in moderation. That's the thing, Facebook. People think that in order to gain muscle, you have to be dieting with a strict diet and no calories and lots of exercise. I disagree. My theory is that it doesn't matter how much food you eat, it's what you do with those carbs afterwards. Facebook. My theory, Facebook, is that it doesn't matter how much you eat, but if you sit on your ass and you don't get any form of exercise whatsoever, and all you do is sit on your ass and eat food, then of course you're going to gain weight. But if you bulk up on carbs and you hit that gym, and even if you don't hit the gym, like even if you bulk up on carbs and you walk around town to get places or ride a bike, you know what I'm saying? Some sort of movement, then those carbs are being put to good use. And it's much like putting gas in a lawnmower or gas in a car. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do you any good to sit on your ass and not exercise. Your body's an engine, food is the gas, and exercise is the movement that makes it go. You know what I'm saying? So if you're filling up your body with high protein, for instance, red meat and that sort of thing, and then you hit the gym. Oh yeah. Vegan food is disgusting, overly expensive, and the process it takes to make it is so bad for the environment. And then they turn around, oh, so there are some vegans who turn around, oh, you shouldn't eat a cow because their flatulence is bad for the environment. And it's like, yeah, but the shit that you guys eat, the process to make that is way worse for the environment than cow farts. You fucking hypocrite. And then they sit there and say, oh, by the way, you shouldn't consume that because you're killing a living thing, man. And it's like, what the fuck is a plant? Oh, it's a living thing that you're killing to eat. And not only that, but when you're lacking when your body is lacking in the natural protein it needs, people who are vegan get real sick real easily. Now, the reason why I hardly ever get sick is because, one, I have a healthy-ass immune system. Two, the oxygen count in my blood is extremely high, despite being a smoker. And three, even though my diet is kind of shitty, most of my diet consists of protein. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some people going, okay, how the fuck do you eat like shit and have such a nice figure? That's a high metabolism. So if you're not gifted with a high metabolism, granted my metabolism's not super high, but it's high enough that, you know, I can pig out pretty good and then get a little chunky, and then by the next day it's gone. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty fucking sweet. No, but going back to what I said, Facebook, if all you do is sit on your ass and you don't exercise, I mean, come on. And people are constantly griping, oh, well, tobacco is so bad for you. You know what's really bad for you? The fucking factories and plants all over the planet spewing off chemicals into the air as a byproduct from producing their products. You want to ride my Asperger's about smoking a tobacco pipe or smoking a cigarette, but there's factories in China that are polluting the air with their bio-waste. If every factory on this miserable, stinking planet switched to a clean-burning source, it would cut down on the pollution so much. Because people use factories for everything, to produce everything, damn near. Except maybe like tobacco pipes and shit like that. Most of the time, these are hand-carved by a pipe maker. Currently, if I want to legally smoke pot for my Asperger's, I have to go down to Colorado for a day. You can legally go down to Colorado for a day and smoke the fuck up and just blast your brain cells with THC. And if you drive back to your state with nothing on you, you pretty much just smoke it and leave it there and then come back to your state. It may be in your system, yes, but technically you haven't done anything illegal. It would be nice if marijuana was legal all over the world. It would solve so many fucking problems. The world would benefit from a rich economy, and people would be too fucking stoned to fight over oil. Oh, hey, your country's out of oil? Dude, that sucks. Here, I'll give you some. That's cool, you know. People would be too fucking stoned to worry about which country has a bigger nuke button. Imagine this giant ass fucking weed pipe, all the world leaders getting together and smoking weed out of it for just about 4 hours. Call it the World Peace Pipe. See what I did there? That was awesome. My blunt sense of humor, but no, seriously. I noticed this too, like when people get into a room and smoke weed, it doesn't fucking matter if one person's an atheist, the other person's Christian, and it just doesn't fucking matter because they don't care. One person's Jewish, the other person's Muslim, the other person's atheist, the other person's Catholic, what the fuck ever. It don't matter. If they're all there to smoke weed, it don't fucking matter. In the dogmatic Christian society we live in, keeping marijuana illegal is the most hypocritical thing on the planet, considering the first goddamn Bible was printed on hemp. Oh. Christians think that prostitution's a sin. They say you don't need temptations like that Jesus is the answer. Well, Jesus fucked a hooker, so what the hell? And then technically speaking, if you don't sin, then he died for nothing. Loophole. If you believe in that kind of bullshit. But whenever Christians go off on this rant about how magic isn't real or how it's all bullshit, it makes me laugh because I'm like, wait a second. Examine your faith a bit more closely. You're talking about Jesus, some dude who rose from the dead. Wait a minute. Raising from the dead, that sounds like necromancy, which is a form of magic. Huh, how about that? And then his blood turned to wine, which sounds like, drinking it. It sounds like vampirism. And then, oh, lo and behold, his flesh turns to bread. And now you're just cannibalizing the poor son of a bitch. Okay. But you want to sit there and say that my belief isn't real. Passover, more like hangover, am I right? They call it Passover, but it's like, if his blood's made out of fucking wine, more like hangover. People's biggest argument is God's against this, God's against that. How the fuck do you know? You're not God. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? If God's against premarital sex, then why the fuck did he create it? Because Christian logic says that God created everything. So if you're being safe and responsible with an adult and you're being consensual about it, who the fuck cares? That's something that'll make Christians think for a second. It's like, oh, okay, your sky god supposedly told you that this is a sin. But if God's the creator of everything, then that means God created sin. You feel what I'm saying, Facebook? And Christians look to glorify everything that God does. So I guess they're glorifying sin too, even though they say that they don't. But when you say you're against sin, then you glorify everything. When you say you're against sin, but you glorify everything God does, you basically just retracted your last sentence. Don't say you're against sin if you say you glorify everything God does. Because that's what they call a hypochondriac. Or an oxymoron, I mean. Yeah. A major oxymoron. Because most of mass religion involves morons anyway. Think about that for a second. Like straight up, Facebook, you can't sit there and say you glorify everything God does, but then turn around and say you're against sin because God created everything, right? And if God created everything, that means he created sin. And there are some Christians who will say, well, no, technically that's the devil's work and blah, 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 blah. Okay, how the fuck is it Satan only kills 10 people in the Bible? God kills a shit ton more, wiping people's sheep out in massive storms, telling Abraham to kill his son to make his crops grow better. And yet somehow Satan's perceived as the bad guy. Explain that one to me, Facebook. When in the Satanic Bible it says, thou shalt not rape. And in the actual Bible, in the Old Testament, it says you can. That's kind of fucked, I'm just saying. Maybe the Bible was interpreted wrong. Maybe you're supposed to worship Satan instead. Because you're going to worship somebody for fear of them destroying your shit. Why worship blindly out of fear? That just makes you a fucking sheep. If you're worshiping blindly out of fear, that just makes you a fucking sheep. I mean, if you're a male, worship yourself as a god. If you're a female, worship yourself as a goddess. Why worship some unseen bullshit? When magic can promise you happiness now and happiness for others and happiness in the afterlife, Christianity only promises you happiness in the afterlife, but that's if you're a good Christian. The power of prayer is bullshit because it's really the power of the mind. It's something that practitioners of the craft have learned to wield to their advantage. Now, subconsciously, your belief in God makes you think, okay, that if you pray for a raise at work and it happens, it's all God's glorious work, right? No, here's how that really works. You do your little prayer to God or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And then subconsciously, you start working harder at work, and then your bosses notice it, and lo and behold, they give you a raise for it. You justify it by saying, oh, it's God's glorious work. Uh-huh. I hate to be that guy, but you hear Christians say, God loves all his children. And my response to that is Sandy Hook. Oh. My response to that is, okay, God loves all his children. Then why do children get molested in Catholic churches, his own fucking house of worship, for fuck's sake? You want to fix that problem, you need to tell clergymen sex is not a sin, but it must be consensual and you must be safe, and the person must be 18 years of age or older. And leave it at that. And it also must be done at an appropriate time. They'll be, you know what I'm saying, getting caught doing it, that sort of thing. And I guarantee you that'll stop that problem right there. That or pocket pussies for priests, that's all I'm fucking getting at. Goddamn. There's a category of porn for you. You get some smoking hot nun. You get a bell tower, and you flip the bell upside down so that the clapper is in the middle, and then she fucks herself with it. Yeah. Those of you who don't know, that's that big hammer that dings the bell. Yeah. There's a category that hasn't been done before. That's horrible. Now, what church would let me film there for that? I'd have to use my own damn bell tower. Shit. Most churches would not condemn that, so you'd have to like sneak in, you know. Could you imagine breaking into a church to do that? Oh, dude. Mama, we all go to hell. 1 second, Facebook. Turn this on, turn that on. Mr. Crowley, what's went on in your head? Man, can you imagine the poor bastard who has to sit there and listen to some smoking hot 18-year-old schoolgirl fresh out of Catholic school? Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. What are your sins, my daughter? I touched myself. That poor bastard has to sit there and listen to that. Like, dude, come on. The dude's got enough sexual attention to fucking break some ice, man. He's got to fucking listen to that. Aw, dude, come on. That's not fair. That's just mean, dude. That poor bastard's sitting there getting a hard on, sweating his fucking Catholic face off, going 52 Hail Marys. And he's sitting there like, oh. Now going back to what I said earlier, if God's the creator of everything, then he's going to need people to fucking worship his ass stupidly and blindly. So if God creates procreation, so to speak, then how is it a sin? It should only be a sin if the person's underage. And if it's forced, whether they're of age or not. If it's forced, it should be a sin. And those are the things you shouldn't do, obviously, but yet I mean, these Catholic priests could be getting life-size sex dolls, for fuck's sake, if they can't really do it with a real human. But for fucking A, man, crying out loud. This is bullshit. What the fuck is bone cancer in children? That's fucked. You know what I'm saying? What kind of self-righteous God lets children get sick with cancer? Lets children kill each other in a mass shooting. Lets children kill themselves over bullying and other stupid issues. It's disgusting. Humans create the idea of this so-called God or what have you, and then it becomes, you know what I'm saying, a thing. It didn't take long to heat up. Get mad at a Satanist for sacrificing a lamb to Satan, but you believe in a talking dead guy. That's fucking great, isn't it, Facebook? Meanwhile, a true Satanist should know you don't waste the animal you sacrifice. So any animal you sacrifice must be consumed, and the bones used in the next ritual. Satan doesn't like it when you waste animals. So that's quite often why most Satanists will sacrifice an animal that tastes good, like chicken, lamb. I mean, you may not sacrifice cows in a satanic ritual, but they're sacrificed for hamburgers, which Christians eat. Christians eat hamburgers, but they get pissed off when a Satanist sacrifices a lamb and eats it. Maybe the factories producing the hamburger meat's not quite the same as doing a ritual or a spell, so to speak, but the concept is still there. You're sacrificing an animal to feed, to eat. I guarantee you that humans did not get to the top of the food chain right next to lions by eating vegetables and no protein. They had to hunt for survival. And that's how humans were able to survive this goddamn long without drugstores, without doctors, without ambulances, and all this other shit. They didn't fucking sit there and go, well, maybe I shouldn't eat this mammoth because, that red meat might be bad for me. No, fuck that. They killed that mammoth, they ate it, they used its fur for clothing, and they made tools with its bones. Nothing got wasted. Could you imagine if the first humans that ever lived, if the first humans that ever lived had the conveniences we have now, they would literally shit themselves. They would not know how to deal with it. They'd be like, what the fuck is this? You mean you don't have to hunt for your food? You just go to the grocery store? Yeah. Cool. So there's a comedy that writes itself right there. Might as well cook me up something to eat right quick while I'm chilling out on Facebook. I have not sacrificed any animals yet. But I bet you a baby lamb would be so delicious, nice and tender. Couple of burger patties, couple of over easy sunny side eggs. Yum, yum, yum in my tum. Protein baby. Do I have any plans? Well, tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be mailing off the wands and the boxes should be here. The cardboard tubes should be here. Do I have any new shirt designs coming out? Well, I do have some merchandise over at this here. Yepers. This is my storefront for customizedgirl.com, which is kind of like Teespring. The link is not wanting to post. Hold on a second. Why is it not wanting to post, me? I don't want linking my fucking fan page with this link. Get all the stuff off the keyboard here. That's not the name of my storefront, though. Which Facebook picture? God damn it. I'm just going to delete the link and repost it. I love technology. Fucking bastard. Okay. One second. I love the smell of beef. Now, why is it not wanting to let me post the link? There we go. I figured out how to do it. Haha. Yeah. I already have a music page that says King Cobra, and that's the name of the fucking storefront, so that works. If I click on it, oh, it's what the fuck? It took me to the music. Oh. Well, when you click on the customizedgirl.com link, it takes you to the fucking King Cobra music page. Seriously? Whoa. Hold on a second. There's a way to do this. Let's go to Facebook. My homepage and paste the link right there. There we go. Copy that same link. Oh, if y'all just go to my Facebook page, I just posted it. It's not gonna let me post it in chat. That's bullshit. Typical, but whatever. I don't really have any new Teespring designs at the moment. I mean, I could make one to help get money for my car. That would be pretty sweet. The car is only like $1,800. So let's see. Let's go to Teespring.com. I need to check my Teespring anyway because I got pillows and leggings. Damn. Well, I want to archive the pillow. I keep the leggings. Design your shirt, I guess. Those sexy Cobra Angel leggings are just too fucking cool to archive just yet. But if I go to start designing, with a, yeah, here we go, t-shirt. Let's see. Let's go to, oh, come on, you fucking bastard. There we go. Art. Upload your own. Click here, upload. The symbol on the front with the cobra, that looks sick. Nicely placed. Browse artwork. Teespring does have a nicer selection of graphic art, though, I will say that. If I type in C-O-B-R-A, if I type in Cobra, it's going to show me a fucking Cobra, you know what I'm saying? Got some eggs real quick before I design that shirt. One at a time, slow and steady wins the race. I suppose as the old saying goes sometimes. Yeah, perfect. The execution on that crack on that egg was perfect. Sweet. much make them set aside to fucking save me some time cooking them. A little bit easier to eat than fucking post. Firm up a bit more before I flip it. Let's go over easy with it. Fuck it. Son of a whore. Egg broke, the yolk broke a little bit, but that's alright. That's alright. Alright. Okay, so now that I got this deliciousness made and out of the way, let's have that done right in front of me. 2 over easy eggs, 2 burger patties. There we go. This one always looks good wrapped around the symbol. Especially if you strategically place it. So there it goes. Through it like that. And we made the artwork. A thin outline. And the thin outline looks good. Sick. And of course, a crown for the cobra's head. Brown's artwork. Let's see. There, that way it looks like it's sitting on the cobra's head at least. There we go. Cool. Well, if you're just joining me on Facebook Live, I'm creating another shirt on Teespring. And I just made myself a little something to munch on. This little snack right here is definitely packed with plenty of protein. 2 over easy eggs, 2 patties. There we go. There is no eating this with your hands. If you want to do like a bunless burger. So now I think of it, I could have put these 2 eggs in between the meat patties instead of on top of the meat patties. Using hamburgers for buns. It has been done before. But what text do I want to put on this shirt? As I sit here eating this delicious beef, and the front of the shirt looks pretty sweet. I remember this episode of Bob's Burgers. It was a Mother's Day episode. Linda and her family pretend to go house hunting just to amuse Linda for Mother's Day. And they get to the little last house that they're going to tour for the day. And lo and behold, one of the realtors asks Bob Belcher's wife, Linda, "Do you want a chocolate-covered strawberry?" Linda's like, I'll have 1 or 4. 4, she says. Ugh. I seen that shit and I was like, what? And then the episode prior to it, hold on a second. The episode prior to it, this lady is messing with Val Belcher's kids. You know, they're playing some kind of game in the alleyway, riding their bikes, and this whole episode, this lady is just messing with them hard, and it's like, oh damn. The animation domination has been doing really good lately. Like, this shit's been funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, episodes give you a chuckle. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people be like, oh, those shows are stupid. I tend to think people who find those shows to be stupid don't really have a what you would call a sense of humor. Magnificent. Now, the only thing Constant Creed, I mean, you could wash that down with soda, but I don't have any soda at the moment, so I'll wash it down with this. Wash down the protein with more protein. Yeah. Unless you're lactose intolerant, then I'd not recommend. And then actually, I would recommend whole milk. It's so much better for you than skim milk. I'm just saying. I mean, the eggs, the burger, followed by milk. That's basically what I like to call a high protein diet. An example. Calcium for strong bones and that sort of thing. I mean, I could put Cobra on one side and then Commander right underneath it. I don't know. Oh, this mug right here, yeah. Feeling crunchy means feeling groovy, feeling cool, you know. Of course, back in the day, it meant something different, like saying you feeling froggy, jump, motherfucker. But it turns out Well, because my version of it means something completely different, but yeah. Yes, I have heard of mukbang. I've seen a couple of those. Hmm. What job did I want to have as a kid when I grew up? I don't fucking remember. Oh, excuse me. Hmm. Let's see. Text. Hold on a second. Here we go. Yeah, if we get a font that's like that. Well, that looks good too. And there's so many different font options I could use for this shirt. And not that it matters, it's not going to sell very well, but it's the fun of trying, I suppose. Simply because these fuckers are way too expensive. I wouldn't charge this much, but apparently it's just how it is, with can't even read that fancy shit. Even though they're not going to sell very well, at least try to make them look cool. And you put like a guitar right here. Holy Jesus, man, there's a lot of guitar graphics on here. There's that one. That looks like my BC Rich, kind of. Okay, now the guitar right there is perfectly placed. Let's see the guitar, the cymbal, the cobra. There's a lot of empty space right over here, so we have room for like two more things. Also got the back too. See if they like that symbol. That they do, that they do. So you got one, if I get one kind of going like that on the bottom of it, that'd be cool too. I'm sure we'll find a better place for that guitar. Hold on. Because one's going this way and the other one's kind of going the opposite direction, so maybe I think it's supposed to go the other way. Yeah. Of course, we found one that matches the other one, but yeah, this is going to be Ramadan Park. Well, it sounded good in theory. And then putting it together, it's like, oof. I don't know if there are any pagan symbols that wouldn't hurt to look. A pentagram would be sick. Yeah, upside down peace sign. Here we go. Now we're talking. How is it? they don't have a pentagram. Interesting how this works out. Huh. They got some cool looking skulls on here. Look at the skull instead of the upside down peace sign. I'll probably end up doing that design on the back, actually. Let's get rid of that, too. Put this giant skull on the back, and on the front it'll say Troll Slayer. Underneath the symbol with the cobra wrapped around it. Yeah. Text. I could make that a little bit small so it fits the other side. There we go. Oh, we want to put it up there next to the other one. Let's see. It's better. I need some pipe tobacco in my life right about now. Of course, after some delicious beef like that, Facebook. Yeah. section. That sounds a little too cliche though, like, ooh, chose there. Ooh. Okay, you know, the front looks good. I'll leave the front alone. You take like the back. Put a skull on there. With an upside down peace symbol right on top of it. Or right below it, I don't care. And I have it say Troll Slayer on the back. That'd be sick. Put a nice thick outline for that skull. Upside down peace sign means war, basically, so doesn't get much more evil than that. Ultimate Troll Slayer shirt, baby. Could maybe pick a different font for us, though. That's why it might work. Put it like right there, or like right there by the... Yeah, right there by the peace, upside down peace sign. That's sick. Put like some demon wings on the side of them, or like a knife or something, I don't know. Knife going into the skull's head, that'd be cool. I forgot the N. Wow. Hey Apple, what? Knife? Remember when Jigsaw was being harassed by Annoying Orange? Hello, Orange. I'd like to play a game. Ooh, a game? What kind of game? Hopscotch? No. Yahtzee? No. You're kind of emo, aren't you? I'm not emo. Like the dude sitting next to the Annoying Orange all tied up is like, is this part of the torture or what? Add like some cool stuff to the back here. I have like a couple of really cool looking knives on the back of the shirt. Sort of like a yin and a yang effect. Kind of. Delete it. Make a different skull here. Shit. Same skull. Let's see, where was that mark? Actually, that'd be kind of cool. For the back of that shirt. Be Beyonce, actually, if you get that text to center. Shit, too late. That'd be a way cooler skull for the back. Especially for what the shirt says on the back. Yeah, I get it. Son of a whore. Try to click on that and yeah, drag that back down there so I can click on it and place it. Perfectly placed on that. Right there. Huh. Simple enough. How many of these we need to sell to make enough money for that damn Studebaker? Have it in a tank top form. Ad style. Coffee mug. Add one more product. Hoodie. Hoodie's not going to work on. Add another product. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, there's 4 products for that. Next. Show the back by default. Right. What's the name of this shirt? Let's call it the Troll Slayer shirts. Troll Slayer shirts. SHIRTS. Always available batch print on every 3 days. Troll Slayer shirts. Launch it. Oh, why isn't it launching? Oh, this is quite the conundrum, Facebook. I sit here for a minute and design a cool looking little shirt and it doesn't want to launch. Fucking typical, man. Gotta love technology, man. Jeez Louise. Some bull honky. Oh, descriptions required. That's why it's not letting me launch. Call it like an anti-troll shirt or some shit. Yeah. The back of it has like a tombstone with a cross on it and 2 skulls on either side. And across the scroll work, it says Troll Slayer. Anti-troll. how many times have trolls on the internet harassed people? Like, I don't even want to know. Probably more times than any one of us can count. You know? So it's like, here's a shirt to wear to stick it to those losers. Like, hey, you're going down, punk. Um, I guess someone in Facebook Live was like, oh, do you have any new shirts? And I'm just like, well, not yet, but I can make one real quick. And the front's got a cool design. Got my symbol on the front, and then yeah, the back looks cool too. Ben Dobbins says, I just smoked a Swisher sweet with the dankity dank rolled up. Nice. Oh, yeah. It's good to release a new shirt every now and then. Otherwise, you know, people get bored of the same things. Yeah. But through teespring.com, I can create and sell my own t-shirts, which is kind of cool. Make some cool looking shite. Shit. You ever inhale tobacco down the wrong tube? That shit sucks. Oh, fuck. I mean, shit, I'm out of fucking cigarettes. All I got is this big old bag of pipe tobacco here. And I just spilled a bunch all over my desk because of that stupid hole in the side of it. And hold on a second. There's gotta be a way to fix this. Yeah, I need that tobacco that I might have spilled out of the bag and just kind of scoop her up into a corner here to top off my bowl. Yeah, look at this shit. I go to pinch the bag from either side to open it up like you normally would any other bag, and it tears a hole in the side of it. What fucking fuckery is this shit? But anyways, as I mentioned before, CobraCraft wands will be shipping out the second batch of wands tomorrow. Hopefully the cardboard tubes get delivered today. I thought they'd be delivered here yesterday, but Casper is notoriously slow for their shitty shipping, so what do? You know, fucking work around it, I guess. Catch you cool cobras on the next one.